Hey, evening, everybody. JD here, 701 Nation. Just people just starting to roll in here. Josh Patterson, what's up, JD? What's up, Josh? Thanks for tuning in again, buddy. Appreciate you. Eric Newman, good evening, fellas. Evening, Eric. Eric's actually he's buying my old crossbow from me, so I'm gonna upgrade this fall, man. I do have a
There you go.
crossbow license, by the way.
There you
So my
go.
guest tonight, we got Levi Nelson on here. Levi, first time I ever met Levi was tonight face to face. I heard him doing. I think the first time I heard you, Levi, you were doing a podcast with John Arman. I think you guys are out at Game and Fish talking CWD or something, right, with the biologist.
Yep.
And then, yeah, I heard you, seen or heard you on Scott Bachmeyer's show before, and we had John on with us and Wayne Muth, and I think they both know you, so appreciate you coming on tonight. But Levi was on a black bear hunt, right, in Montana. It was
Yep. Just last week I was out there. Yep.
with a bow, right? It was both. It was
Actually, no, I was with my gun. Yep.
okay. Oh, it was with your gun. Okay, I thought it was
Yep.
bow for whatever reason. So
I'm an equal opportunity hunter.
I like that. That's perfect, man. I love that. Waylon Turnus, evening, Waylon. Josh, he just relaxed and listening to us. All right. Well, let's hope we give him a good show and we don't bore you to sleep while you're relaxing, man. Levi's he's got to work at the coal mine tomorrow. I only have to work half a day and I'm going shooting prairie dogs with my buddies. So Levi, I'll have a few for you here while we're doing the stream,
Perfect.
buddy. Okay.
Perfect.
So, how many times have you hunted bear in Montana, Levi?
So this was my first time. I've been planning this hunt for 3, 4 years. Every year I said I was going to do it. It's an easy hunt to plan for. It's over the counter, but it's in a bad time of year. We're just wrapping up calving, and then everybody's
Mm,
branding. So it's gotten pushed off. And this year decided to be selfish and just take that time to do it, and it went awesome.
awesome, man. Hey, trust me, from a guy twice as old as you, the more you push stuff off, the less it just like you're doing it, man. I see your posts. I like what you're saying, man. You just hit it and you get it done, man. That's perfect. Because yeah, you said in the pre we were talking before the show, you're not married or nothing, so you still get that stuff going, get that stuff going before the wife or the girlfriend, because they do get a little touchy about it, But I mean, my wife not so much anymore, but that's awesome. So
Mhm.
what does it cost you when you buy one over the counter there?
So the bear tag's $350. I can't remember exactly what the general game stamps and everything are, because I
Hmm.
buy that at the beginning of the year when I apply for deer and elk and antelope and stuff. But you're gonna do it for less than $400 for the tags.
Wow, that's pretty good then.
Yeah, absolutely. And over the counter, there's not many over the counter opportunities in the United States anymore.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I know my dad always used to tell me when he was younger, they go down to Wyoming and just crush antelope and, they get antelope and mule deer tags. And God, I mean, not anymore, man. I mean, I've never
No,
hunted there. I see you got some dandy antelope behind you there, by the way.
antelope are kind of my obsession. I've never shot any real big ones, but it's hard to pass up a 70-inch goat.
Well, the ones behind you, look a lot bigger than the one I got. The only one I got a small buck with a res tag once. And then I got one at Scott Bachmeyer's place. I went down there, COVID year 2020. I mean, not a dink, but not big. I mean, and I never shot a state buck tag in North Dakota State. I had, and I see it, and I was like, hell yeah, man, I want that sucker. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I cut my teeth on Standing Rock antelope. That's what kind of where I learned. And for antelope hunting, I think it's a perfect place to learn because I don't think you're gonna find any more scared antelope in the lower 48.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was going to be simple, right? Because in the summer we're down there shooting prairie dogs, and I was like, yeah, this is going to go drive down there and we're going to smoke one, and we're going to be celebrating. No, man, we chased some things around, and actually, when I got it, it was like a 500-yard shot. I think I said that on the previous show, but I hit it in the leg, and I ended up having to finish it offhand. But yeah, it was, it wasn't,
It don't always
like
work perfect.
yeah, like a lot of hunts, right? It never works. I don't think I've ever had like even a stock on one. You think we're going to go here and there, we're going to pop up and he's going to be right there. And you're, huh? What? How do you get
Yep. Well, and
Yeah.
this last year, I think I put on 1,500 miles driving and 17 miles hiking before I finally found a buck I wanted to take.
Wow. Yeah. That's, but hey, man, that's part of it. That's fun. I mean,
That's all about it, man. I'm all for the hunt.
you get so all right. Let me get a few things out of your bear right here. So what you said you got? I thought you got it with your bow. You said you got it with your rifle. What kind of rifle did you get him with? Then?
So I have a Seiko S20 300 Win Mag. My dad had a Seiko when I was a kid. Well, he still has it to this day. And so I knew it was a good, reliable gun. He's not he's not real kind to any of his equipment. So if it could withstand him for that many years, I knew I was going to trust a Seiko. And 300 Win Mag, you can't go wrong with a 300 Win Mag. So
No, we were just talking about that before the show. We'll leave that for a little later, but you were using the right one there.
yeah.
So how many days did it take you to get them? Then I mean, was it on public land or did you go on private land? Well, how'd that go?
Yep. So it was all public land. Did a lot of research. Like I said, I've been planning it for quite a few years. So I've tore apart the maps, scouting primarily like on X and stuff. Um, but I went out there. I had planned 7 days, and I was going to hunt every minute of every day for 7 days until I had to come back. And my main goal going into this was not to kill a bear, but was to see a bear because I've never even seen one in the wild.
Hmm.
On day two, I saw a sow with a cub, and then on day four, I found the boar that I ended up harvesting.
Awesome. And
So
how close did
way
you get?
better.
I mean, did you bait it or did you? I don't even. Do you call bears or did you just get close as you could and let the 300 do its thing?
Yeah, so in Montana, you're not allowed to bait. And I think it's the last 2 years they've allowed using dogs to tree bears. I don't have dogs or buddies that run dogs, so I was spot and stock. So the name of the game for Montana bears is getting as high as you can and glassing till you find them. And they always
Hmm.
say glass till your eyes bleed, and
They just about were, huh? So,
it's a
so
lot.
how close did you get to it then? And how long was your stock on it?
So I glassed the bear up almost 2.5 miles away, and I sat on him for about a half hour to make sure he wasn't just passing through. He was grazing on the side of a mountain, and once I convinced myself he wasn't going too far, I threw everything in my pack and I took off. It took me about an hour and a half to get there, which I was pretty motivated to get there because I didn't want
Yeah.
him to disappear. But through all my research, I've learned that if they're grazing on a side hill like that, they're going to be close because they like that area.
So
So I
bears eat
knew,
grass?
yep. So especially in the
Okay.
springtime like this, they're kind of cleaning their system out because they haven't eaten anything all winter. They can't go straight to eating meat primarily because it'll kind of mess up their
Mhm.
digestive system. So, but I knew he was going to be in that area with how long he had stayed there. So I hiked over there, and um, he wasn't there when I got there, which I wasn't mad about because I figured he was going to stay close, and if I stayed there all day, there was a good chance that he was going to pop back out. And I'm you can't tell by camera, but I'm not in the greatest shape in the world, so I was a little whooped once I got there, and I started pulling all my gear off, my pack off, and I looked up, and there was a black stump in front of me about 120 yards, and everything looks like a bear when you've been glassing for days.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I didn't really pay any attention to it and just kind of set all my stuff out. And I looked down again. I said, doggone it, that looks like a bear. And I looked through my binoculars, and sure enough, that bear was sleeping on a log at 120
Huh.
yards below me.
Unreal.
And so it was a chip shot. And I had been planning all week that my shots were going to be pretty far because you're looking across valleys. And
Mhm.
so in most of my situations, the shots were primarily going to be 400, 500 plus. And here he was,
Yeah.
120 yards. Didn't even have to touch my turrets.
Awesome, man. So, like, what bullet did you use and what were you using?
So I've been using 168 grain Amaxes that a good buddy of mine reloads for me.
Mhm.
Um, Everything I've shot with that in the last 3 years is it's done amazing.
Yeah, so that AMAX. So there's always the big debate about whether that's a match bullet. That's not a hunt. I mean, everything I've seen, match bullets kill shit. Yeah, if not better, just as good as a hunting bullet, right?
And I'm not a ballistics expert by no means. I've told you before, I was like, I don't even want to get into reloading because I have an obsessive personality.
Yeah,
And the
don't
next thing
do
I
it, man.
know, I won't even be able to afford my hunts if I do that. So,
Well, you won't have time. That's all you'll be doing is you're pissed off. You're like, man, this thing should be shooting a group as big as my pinky nail, and it's not. It pisses me off. And my
mhm.
buddy always says, yeah, if you want a cheap gun, just be around Jamie. If it doesn't shoot an inch at 1,000 yards, you can buy it from him for a quarter of what he paid for.
There we go. We should start shooting together.
Yeah, yeah, he's exaggerating a little bit there, but yeah, I do get pissed when it doesn't go. I mean, over the years I've chilled a little bit on it, but so
Well,
so
and
you what do you go ahead?
that gun and them loads will shoot better than I ever will.
Mhm.
And I that's what I told him. You know, when I started shooting these, he made me a pile of them when I bought this gun, and they've performed amazing in target shooting, hunting. They've done amazing.
So what do you get like if you're on the bench and the bag's at 100? What do you get for like a group?
Oh shoot, it's
Inch,
I
a
mean
quarter?
inch and a quarter. I mean it's right there. I
Yeah.
know my dad and I were talking when I shot that bear, and he was wondering how I was able to pull it off, and I said I can shoot a quarter at 100 yards. I better be able to kill a bear at 120, no matter how nervous I am.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a big bear because Levi's. You're not a small dude, right? What do you? I mean, I never seen you, but I mean, just by judge, you got to be like 6'2".
I'm about 6 foot 260, so I'm not a
Yeah,
little guy by any
yeah,
means.
yeah. He's a bear himself, so I.
Yeah, he's a very respectable Montana bear, but you put him next to the bears that these guys are killing in Canada,
Mhm.
and they don't compare. I mean, he ended up scoring about 5'4", nose to tail, which is a great bear in Montana, and
Mhm.
I'm tickled pink with him. But you probably wouldn't be shooting that in Canada.
Yeah, wow. I mean, you go up there, even the bodies on their deer are just mutants, right?
Hmm.
So antelope actually get up into Canada too, don't they? Like, and are they big up there too? Like they, I mean, do they give, or do they
Body
migrate out
size,
of
I'm
there?
not sure. I know like Alberta has some tremendous antelope hunting.
Hmm.
I know horn wise they get very big. Body
Hmm.
wise, I couldn't tell you if they're any different than the goats we have down here.
Yeah, I just every time I see them guys hunting, either whether whitetail or mule deer up there, I'm just like, God, look at the freaking body on those things. But people in Texas see our deer up here and like, Mom, look at the bodies on those. And so,
Yep, exactly.
I'm looking at their antler size down in Texas, and they're looking at the body size up there.
Yep.
Oh man! So I see. What'd you do with the? What do they call it on the deer? The hide or the pelt, or what do you want to call it?
Yeah,
What'd you do with that?
so in Montana, you actually have to pack out the hide, the whole hide, to be checked in. So they go through it, look at everything, make sure everything's kosher. They have to make sure that you didn't shoot a sow with cubs. Certain units you can only harvest so many sows. So I mean, they do a bunch of checks on your
Hmm.
hide and stuff, and they pull a tooth. So I pulled that whole hide off, and packed it out, and then a lot of guys don't eat bear. I'd never shot one. I'd never tasted one. So I packed the meat out too because I definitely wanted to try it.
I did see you made the sausage, and you said it was good, right? So how did
Very
you make
good.
the sausage? Did you mix it with pork like you do other sauces, or just what do you do with that?
So I was lazy. I took it to 3B Meats, which I
Yeah,
do with
that's
most of my
fine.
animals. And they made I had it envisioned the whole time before I went that if I did kill a bear, I wanted to make blueberry sausage.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I'd had it before. A buddy of mine had the deer made into it, and it was sweet. It tasted similar to like if you get syrup on your country style sausage.
Really?
And so that was kind of what I envisioned. This didn't turn out sweet, but it tastes. Somebody would have given it to me, I would have said it was pork sausage. I would have never known that it was
Really?
bear. There's no
Okay.
wild taste to it. I mean, it's
It looked
which
good, man. I mean, it looked good. I was looking at that picture. I was like, damn, that does look good.
I took some to work today and passed it around. Of course, I didn't tell them what it was till after the fact, and everybody was like, "Man, I should start bear hunting."
I think I've only had one person tell me they didn't like bear, but for the most part, I think everybody else told me it's good.
Well, and I
So,
think that's with anything. There's people that don't like deer. There's people that don't like antelope, elk, what have you.
mhm.
I grew up with my dad's cooking, and so deer and antelope. Well, deer especially. I grew up eating deer, and I love deer. And people talk about the gamey taste, and I think that's the
That's
good
deer,
flavor of
right?
the deer. I mean, that's I enjoy it.
Yeah, I just sometimes it's stronger than others. I mean, for whatever reason, I know I've had
Yep.
some deer that I was like, "Oh man, that's strong." But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get to a few of these comments here, Levi, because if
They're
anybody,
flying in here.
yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I'm slacking here. We started. Okay, let's see here. Well, my cousin Dave, he's tuned in down in Georgia. Gene Gene says women's opinion only matters when you marry them. Yeah, I mean it definitely matters then for sure. It's a whole different ballgame. Eric
Is that the
Newman.
mayor of Mobridge?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah, lever action, heavy lever action there. Eric Newman said he went bear hunting in Idaho a while back. Was a blast. Been applying for bear in Minnesota.
Me too.
What?
Hopefully, one of these days I draw Minnesota.
So a buddy of mine goes to Wisconsin every year. I didn't even know they really had bears there. But yeah,
Oh, we got
he
big
gets,
bears.
yeah, he does. He shoots big ones. Mayor says my first antelope was in Harding County with an SKS. Perfect. I love it. How many shots, Gene? Just one? Did you use soft point on it there then, or what'd you use? Eric Newman, antelope is his favorite hunt and eat. I mean, yeah, I think the best. I think antelope's best when it's canned. Really, you ever eat any canned meat, Levi? You do
I've
that?
had canned meat. Actually, Kurt Sherrato has given me some in the past, but I've not tried doing it myself yet.
Yeah, don't let anybody you're gonna blow the counter up and nah. I mean, there's a pressure relief. I mean, if you leave it in there too long, like Marty Beard did, and then it comes squirting out the hole, the pressure release. Yeah, and he had chicken all over the ceiling in his house. So,
I
which
don't
I
find
didn't
that
know
hard
it
to
could.
believe at all.
Yeah, I didn't know it could do that, but he said, "Oh, it did it." So, one shot, Cap. Good evening, 701Nation. Good evening, Cap. Appreciate you tuning in. Eric, he loves bear meat. Eric's like, he's heavy wild game too. I think you and him would probably get along with the eating. I mean, some people eat rattlesnake. You ever eat that?
Yep. Yep.
Really?
We
So,
eat
what'd you
them.
think of that?
It's like chicken neck. There ain't much meat there.
Probably like eating my neck here. There's not much on that. So,
I got a good one.
they get you first before me if they get hungry. So,
We actually butchered a porcupine one time.
okay, so I heard that's good. Eric tells me. What'd you think of it?
It tastes like chewy pork, like the stuff you get at the Chinese restaurant. I thought it was good,
Really?
but it was a
Okay.
lot of work.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't. Did you get how many times did you get poked? Then did you get one stuck in you?
I don't think it was. I don't remember it being too bad, but I know it took us a long time to skin it, and then we got done with the meat we had, and we're like, "This, I don't know if this was quite worth
I
it."
don't know if it was worth it, right? We should
Yeah.
just do a steak on or something.
Hmm.
Waylon Turner says I'd eat antelope over deer.
I
I mean,
love antelope.
I
I
probably would
absolutely
too, to
love
be
it.
honest. I mean, I think I definitely think where you shoot it makes a difference too. Because we had we're north of Golden Valley. I don't know where if you know where Golden Valley is,
Yep.
west of Beulah there. But I mean, when they had a season, we'd go up and shoot doe. If the doe, I mean, because they're eating freaking alfalfa all year, and
Alfalfa.
there's and man, that stuff tasted so damn good. It was. I wish we had a season again, but you never know. Hey, Levi, you ever skin a grizzly? One shot, Cap asked.
I have not, and I have two fears in my life: grizzlies and women. So I usually try to stick away from the grizzlies.
Sounds like you're not full of common sense there, Levi. I like where you're at there, buddy. All right, I tell you what, we're gonna. So if you're just tuning in, we're gonna do. I'd say about 8:40 here. We're gonna do the trivia question here, for the draw, and whoever gets it, it's a two-part answer. You got to get them both right. But if you get it, you're gonna get the one free barrel threading from Bloodline Kinetics. You're one of our great sponsors in Bismarck. Levi knows the answers, so hopefully, he promised me he wasn't going to text his buddies. So, but yeah, so hang in there if you're just tuning in. We are doing it. We haven't done it yet. Levi, we're going to take our first break here, our first commercial break here from our great sponsors. As soon as I find it right here, let me see. Let me sure get the right. See, you guys got this set up for me, so I'm not sure which one. All right, right here's our first one. We'll be back in a couple minutes. So, hey, if you got a weak bladder like me, Levi, but you're a young guy, I think your prostate's pretty good. Yes.
We're good.
All right, hang in. We'll be right back.
That's a war face. Now let me see your war face. You don't scare me.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. mistake. Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
All right, we are back. Levi, still got you?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. I know them commercials are super loud, and we were talking about tech stuff before. I'm waiting for Clay or Deacons to turn that volume down on them babies for me.
They were cool commercials, though. I really enjoy watching them when I watch you guys' show.
Yeah, Deacons does that. Mike does that. He does an awesome job on those. I mean, Clay thought I did a pretty good voiceover, and I seen Deacons. I'm like, nah, pull me off there. Those are way better. We'll get a few comments going here. Let's see here. Okay, grizzled and women. Grizzled and women, when both are mad, they're the same. Yeah, for sure. Wayne Moon. Hey, guys, he's walking through Shields. Listen, appreciate that,
Good
Wayne.
buddy Wayne.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about a little bit later here about you guys in right. You were down filming a little Ranch America there at Scott's, and you were working cattle, right, Scott Buckner?
Yep. Yeah, Wayne and I drove down there together.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Since we hit it, let's just go ahead and hit on that right now. So what happened down there? I mean, what River Class? That's the guy's name who runs this, right?
Yep. So that Wayne's way more knowledgeable in the Ranch America than I am, but they're going around and they're kind of showing our way of life as ranchers, which I think is more important now than ever before. There's lots of people that need to be understanding how our way of life is and how it affects everybody with everything going on, and then just to show the fun parts of it, like going to Scott's branding, but showing how vital that is to our community, and his is a really good example. Scott's branding is a very good example of how a community helps each other.
So how many guys do you think he had down there at his branding?
Oh shoot, there had to be, with kids, I'd say there's probably 40 people.
Yeah, when I was a kid. So my favorite part of doing branding is when my family used to have cattle, and we worked them, and I always enjoyed the roundup the best, man, just because I could rag the shit out of the three wheelers or the motorcycle or whatever.
we were horseback.
Yeah, I got punished for that when we got back because we didn't have a cradle. They were just like, get in there and grab one, boy. And my buddies, they'd always liked it when I brought my buddies up. We'd usually go Memorial Day weekend. We'd go up to my grandparents when they were alive at Lake Skakawea. They had a cabin, and then come back and we'd work cattle. So I usually had a few buddies with me, and they liked that. And I seen them when I first saw them cradles work. I was just like, man, what have I been doing? Getting kicked and plowed over, but I mean, when you're 18, early 20s, man, you want to show all your buddies what a big tough bastard you are, and flop it down and see that, boys. Where's the biggest one? I want to hold that. You get that. I remember.
I'm not that old yet, but I know I told Wayne on the way down there, I said, boy, I sure used to enjoy this a lot more when I was younger. Like, every year it gets a little bit harder.
Oh, man, I think the last time I did it, I was probably in my late 30s or right about 40, and Steve Cluten still lived up here. He had some cattle up here at the elk ranch up north of Bismarck, and I was like, you know what, I think I got one, but it wasn't bad. Me and another guy were holding them down, and my buddy Bill Beard, who's a freaking championship team roper. He made it easy. He'd go in the room like, yeah, why didn't you do this when we were younger? He's like, you guys didn't have horses.
Yep.
I saw you were roping too, right? You pretty handy with the rope. I saw some.
I wouldn't say I'm too handy. I'm okay. Shoot, there was 12, 13-year-old kids at that branding that could outrope me, but
That's probably what they
I
do
can rope
all
all right.
day though on the dummy and right. I
Yep.
mean, they're cowboyed up already, and I know
The
I
night
see some.
before when we were drinking and roping the roping dummy, I sure could catch, but
I got a little aiming juice in you.
yeah, I just needed some aiming fluid the next day, and I just was missing it, I guess.
That's freaking. Cause I tried to rope, man, and you wouldn't know that my best friend growing up was a championship team roper. If you saw me grab a rope, you'd be like, put it down, dude. It'd be like some liberal picking up a rifle and like, hey, set it down. You're not trained, man. Oh,
Good.
but yeah. So what they do when they filmed you guys down there? I mean,
Well, and River jumped right in. He was doing everything with us. I brought a horse down for him, and he helped round up, and he roped off of him, and
oh,
I
he
mean,
knows how to rope too.
yep,
Oh
yep,
God,
yep. He
everybody
was up
does
and
but me.
roping. That's all you got to do is jump in and try.
Yeah, right. Right.
Just get started.
Just look dumb as long as I catch them. And so the first episodes are airing. I think Wayne had a post right in September.
Yeah, I think he did. I just was looking at his comment and I laughed.
I could even rope too when we were roping the dummy and drinking. I thought, wow, Wayne knows Wayne. I mean, Wayne knows the beards real good, so he'd probably just. I mean, I don't know if he's as good a roper as the beards. I guess I don't know Wayne's, but he's probably underselling himself here too.
He can definitely rope.
Yeah, see, I mean that's good. You gotta just play it cool, like it's like playing pool. I'm okay, and then you get in the game, and
I told him, I said, I'm not a real good roper, but I said I can fish pretty good. I just throw them in and let them walk into it.
just
When you get them out,
throwing-
noi cares.
Yeah, exactly. I'll remember that if I ever got to do that.
Yep, just let them walk into it.
If I could just back up to it with my Kawasaki mule and then punch it when they get in there.
There you go.
I used to ride horse a lot when I was a kid, but anymore, I'd get on it and they'd probably be like, "You ever ride a horse before, dude?"
I don't ride near like I used to. When I was a kid, I rode all the time, and I was too lazy to put on a saddle. I rode bareback all the time, and I don't ride near like I used to. But between work and my hunting obsession, it takes a lot of time. away
Yeah,
from
I
it.
mean, it's what a guy ever prioritizes. That's just how it goes. So,
And I broke my father's heart. I bought a 4-wheeler about 4 years ago now, and
yeah,
never
man,
look at me the same again.
once I got my first motorcycle, man, it was all over with, and I sold my horse, and like I was more like of a trail rider, and we went to the Badlands, and I always told my buddy, I'm not, I definitely never thought of myself as a cowboy. I was always more of a redneck than a cowboy. So, and that remains true today.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I like rednecks, but I'm just gonna ask. Let's talk a little gun action here. You said you use that 300. So, like, what do you think your favorite rifle and cartridge is? Just like all around.
Definitely 300 Win Mag. I've been playing with the idea of getting a 300 PRC. Just haven't decided to pull the trigger on it yet. The 300 Win Mag's been so good to me that I've just had to stick with it.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, I know you said you were in a ballistics geek, and I mean, I am on some things, but what's the difference between a 300 PRC and a 300 like velocity or anything? Any differences on that?
As far as I know, I think the PRCs are a little faster and a little flatter. That's.
I mean, with turrets and
gaining
drop
too much.
reticles anymore, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's not too big of a deal. I know, like I killed my biggest mule deer to date last year, and I shot him at 702 yards with that gun.
damn, nice shooting, man.
And so, I mean,
What'd that
I don't know
score?
he scored 164
Sweet. And where'd you get him at?
in eastern Montana on public land, even.
I mean, that's a huge deer for public land.
And I'm a private land hunter, but I got lucky.
Well, hey, sometimes you got to be that way, man. Biggest whitetail I ever got, 100% luck. So I'm not, I'll take it. So we got a question here for you. One Shot Cap says, "Hey, Levi, are the antelope having their fawns yet?"
Yes, they are. I've actually been getting quite a few buddies sending me pictures and videos of the little guys running around.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, antelope fawns are about the cute. They didn't get much cuter than that, does it? I
They're
can say they're
tiny.
cute. I mean, yeah. Oh man,
They're tiny.
I love deer fawns too, but yeah, I mean, antelope. When I see them little antelopes, I'm like, God, that's a cute little sucker. So Josh
Hmm.
Patterson says, "What bow you shooting when you bow hunt, Levi?"
So I was a Hoyt guy forever. Um, and I hope John Armin's not watching this because I
If
jumped
anything,
ship
he'll be
this
listening
year.
to the podcast and get you.
I jumped ship this year. I bought a Matthews. I still have my Hoyt as my backup, and I love the new Matthews, the lift, but they all have things that I like and I don't like.
Hmm.
So I still got my Hoyt Ventum, um, kind of as my backup, but we'll see as the season goes. I might flip flop.
Okay, so what is it faster, or I mean, what like
Yep.
what's the IBO? What's the IBO on your old one to this one you just bought?
So the Ventum, it was an 80 pound. It's got 80 pound limbs on it, and I always joked I got the 80 pound limbs so I could get complete passers on turkeys. Um,
It'll
but
do that, right?
that one was shooting right at 295 feet per second with oh shoot 525 grain arrows. This is a 70 pound limb bow. The lift is, and it's shooting 293. So I was like, that's pretty
So
dang good.
you're about to get sunned out on your
Yeah, I
eyeballs
know. I
there.
see that.
If you want to handle that, go ahead. Or if
Yeah, I
not, or
might
if,
just
unless
switch
you want to
over.
just either that or you're gonna throw your sunglasses on, one of the two,
Yeah,
right?
didn't
so
think that one through.
so I know a lot of these new bows are going. They're saying like 350. Have you shot any of those?
I have not.
I'm
With
just
how
curious if the accuracy sucks because they go so fast.
in this day and age, I don't think your accuracy is going to suffer. They're making such good bows now; it doesn't matter what company you go with. And at this point, they're pretty much trying to reinvent the wheel, in my opinion. And they're so good, I
Yeah,
don't know how much better you're going to get.
right.
But I
It's
shoot
like
a heavier arrow, and so I don't think I will be able to get to that 350 range. Um,
I mean,
but 300
honestly, if
is pretty
you're
good.
heavier. I mean, you're gonna get pass throughs either with a heavier, you know.
Typically, yeah.
And I got my crossbow's like 380, and I always say like, God, some of these now are going like 500. I'm like, you're gonna never find your freaking bolt, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I think even mine that is so freaking fast. I mean, I could probably shoot through an elephant with that sucker.
Yeah, you don't hit no bones. I mean,
No, what are you using for? Do you use a mechanical or do you use a fixed then?
so the last couple years, I've been shooting mainly mechanicals. I debated it pretty hard last year, elk hunting, if I was going to switch it up and go with fixed blades or stick with what I know. And ended up going with a mechanical, and it did the job. Did not get a pass through, but I shot him at 65 yards and heart shot him, but I only got about a foot of
Nice.
penetration. So
Really? Well, I mean that's. I mean, if that I'm not gonna lie to you, my crossbow would probably go through that.
I would think so.
I shoot mechanicals. I know a lot of guys. I think I don't remember the guy's name, but he's a big bow and crossbow guy. But I emailed him once, and he uses like super heavy fixed blades, and I was like, I don't know, I don't want to be lobbing cannonballs out there, but I don't know.
And I think they both have their places. My justification to myself with shooting mechanical is you don't always hit where you aim, or you screw up, you pull a shot, deer ducks, what have you. I want the biggest hole I can get.
Right. Oh, 100%. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I used the two that I got were rages, and I mean they bled out super fast.
And that's actually what I'll be using this year. My plan is to shoot tripans this year.
So the is that the new one where they got, because the ones I got still got like that rubber collar, and then she tried to get to replace the ones, and freaking things never seem to hold on there, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
shit, I'll just
these
throw these
these
and
are the
buy new.
no collars. I think they came out a couple years ago. A buddy of mine kind of actually turned me on to them because he had showed me a couple pictures of deer that he had shot with them, and I mean the holes in them were so big. Like the deer he shot last year. Granted, he made a great shot, but the half the lung was hanging out the hole, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
bet. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they do put a freaking damn big hole in them. There's
yeah.
no freaking doubt about that. So what do you use? Okay, your big game here, 300 Win Mag. What do you go for, like prairie dogs and coyotes? I mean, you still just like screw it, I shoot my 300, or do you go with something?
I do use my 300 a lot just to stay on my game with that gun. I wanted I want it to be second nature to me when I lay down with that gun and shoot it. So I use that a lot.
Hmm.
I don't have a lot of rifles. I grew up shooting prairie dogs with 22, so I do that from time to time. And then
Fun. That's fun.
a good neighbor of mine, the guy that makes or reloads my rounds for me, he's got an arsenal. So if I go to his place and shoot, I can grab whatever the heck I want.
Yeah, I mean, I got, I don't know, 10 to, I guess I wouldn't even know an accurate. I mean, talking handguns and everything, 10 to 15, and
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
I don't know.
we took his 454 Casul out one day trying to shoot that thing. And
Did you hit
that one
any?
was rough. No, I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, but my wrist sure felt it when we were done.
I believe it. Well, I mean, unless you get a dot or something on, if you're trying to shoot something small with irons at any range, you know. But yeah, so what do you? So you're mostly 22. Then when you're shooting prairie dogs, you don't got like a 223 or nothing like that.
I don't have a 223 yet. I've been playing with the idea of trying to get a coyote set up and, um, AR with a thermal on it. But my priority has been big game, and usually I'm pretty busy doing that all year.
Hmm.
So I just
Yeah,
haven't messed
I
with it
mean, when
yet.
I see coyotes, I mean, I don't. I'm gonna be honest, like calling them, I just the patience for that, man. I just don't have it. And some of my buddies dig it, and our neighbor, and I'm just like, yeah, hey, you guys want to do it? Really? I'm like, yeah, yeah,
Oh
go
yeah.
for it.
All my buddies I let go in there and coyote hunt on our place, and it does me a favor. And with them not being worth anything, it doesn't really turn my crank. But
Mhm.
I got a buddy that's big into thermal hunting, so I'll go with him a couple times a year. And daylight calling coyotes just really doesn't do
Yeah,
nothing
I
for me.
mean, yeah, I mean, I don't. It's not like I don't enjoy shooting one when I see it, but I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
yeah. Gene says they do make human-sized guns. Yeah, they make a gun size for about anything, right? All
Yep,
right, I'll tell you what. Should we do this giveaway? Should we do it?
absolutely.
All right, guys. So what we're gonna give away here from our sponsor, one of our sponsors, Bloodline Kinetics, they got one free barrel threading job to include thread protector and one thread adapter for specific caliber and barrel diameter. Not refundable for cash or other cash offers. $100 to $150 value. So here's what the question is going to be, and I'll tell you. Here's this. It's a two-part question, so don't. When I ask the first question, don't get all crazy and I got this, and don't answer it right away because it's just two-part. You got to get them both right. And who the first one to get it right? Like I said, I told Levi he might be able to see for whatever reason. Sometimes other people can see the answers first. I mean, it'll come through, but you got to get them both right, and the first one that gets it, they will get this. And if you don't know where Bloodline Kinetics, they're in Bismarck here. If you didn't hear the first commercial, gun builder. He's building Clay and I each a rifle and barrel threading, chambering. He does everything. So yeah, Levi, if you want a pimped out coyote rifle,
BRC, or
go talk to our man Jake down there at Bloodline and probably hook you up with some. I've been in his shop. Like I said, it looks like you ever seen the end of the first Terminator when they go into that building and all them machines in there? He's talking to me. I'm like, man, you're way over my head with this stuff.
just want to look around.
Yeah. And he is actually texted me today and said we can take out some of his custom made stuff and start doing some field testing with him, which,
Heck yeah.
yeah. Boy, I hate to do that, right?
Yeah, I suppose we could make that
Yeah,
happen.
I suppose I'll torture myself here and do that. All right, so like I said, two-part question, and this is according to Sig's, one of the sales managers here at Sig. I can't remember what his title is there, but he worked at like Winchester and a couple other gun companies. But here's the first part of the question. Like I said, you got to get them both right, so don't answer right away with the first one. You got to get them both right. So 60% of hunting rifles are chambered for 2 cartridges. What 2 cartridges are those? And of those 2, there's one of them that's obviously one of them gets, higher sales percentage than that. Which one is that? So again, 60% of hunting cartridges are chambered hunting rifles, whatever you want to say. 60% of hunting rifles are chambered for 2 cartridges. You got to get those two right. And of those two, which one is the number one? So the first person that can get that right, and you can go ahead and Google it all you want. I don't think you're going to find it. Well, I heard this on a podcast from a very popular hunting guy. So if you want to go ahead and try and look that up,
and I can say I got them both wrong. So
yeah, but you did get the bonus one right. You did get the bonus one right. So, I mean, let's so nobody's I mean, they're all Googling right now, right? Or whatever they use, Google, whatever search engine they use. Either that or they're just like,
what else is there
just screw it, right?
Just send your best shot.
Yeah, give her a go, because if you get it wrong, I'm not saying you're done. You can guess again. Gene Cox 30-30, 30-6. Nope, wrong, Gene. And I'm not going to tell you if you're wrong on both or one. But I mean, you might be in the caliber territory on one of them. 7M08 and 308. 308 is the most popular. Nope, you're not right, Eric. But like I told Gene, you're in the ballpark there with the 30. Google is cheating.
Hey, if it is cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, who said that? One of the wrestlers there. 243, 30-6. Nope, not right, Josh. Oh, come on, ask an antler question. See, I had to make it hard. I had to make it a little difficult so nobody could just look it up right away and get it, right? Because I'm probably 270, 308. Nope, Ivan, like I said, some of you guys got half of it, but 270 and 308 is not right. I think you said 270, right?
I did, yeah. I figured
that was one of your guesses, right?
I figured that was a popular one.
Yeah, you said 270 and 243, I thought.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, not right. So you got to keep guessing. Because antler stuff. I mean, I had to make it 6'5" Creed 223. Nope. I'll tell you this much. You guys are getting closer though. But Doug, you're not right.
Question. I mean, good answers though.
Yeah. You guys are. I mean, you're sniffing right around it, man. And you're right by the pot. You just got to sit down on it. So what? Until these guys get her going here, Levi. 243, 308. Nope, not right, Wayne. What are the deer and antelope looking like down at your place?
Deer is still a little bit of a process right now. Antelope look better than they ever have.
Really? Okay, awesome. That's great.
223, 270, no. 223, 308, no.
No. Like I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys this bit of a clue. I did see the two of the right answers in there, and nobody's lined them up yet, though. Right? And that's just the first part. They got to get the second part.
Get the second part, yeah.
Well, and that's just a great question. You got these guys stumped. That's right. I mean, the fingers are, I know you want that threading badly. Last guess, Gene says 30-6 and 6'5" Creed, 6'5" Creed top. Nope. Gene, that doesn't have to be your last guess. You're not right, though.
Keep her coming.
Yeah.
Doug Wolf, 223 and 22. 22 would have been a good one to guess. Not right, but that you'd think that would have been a good one.
Right. So Lynette says, remember the hotter and colder game. Well, some of these guys, nope, Wayne, you guys are like half hot and half cold. Like I said, you just gotta. Nope, Ivan. Nope, you're halfway there, man. So yeah, I would say deer at our place 308. Oh, Eric almost had it. Let's that commercial with the guy with the fishing pole. You almost had it.
You got to be quicker than that.
you got to be quicker on them keyboards, man. If you get it, you got to be quicker on that. You got me, no idea, man, Josh. All you got to do is
send it. Just send another one.
Right, just throw it out there, man. Right. I'm saying almost everything but the correct answer to you guys.
Yeah, it's hard.
But yeah, the deer, they were looking. I mean, last deer season it was down for sure, but antelope, I would definitely say the antelope are down as of right now. And the pheasants, though, the pheasants are freaking just gonna. If nothing happens weird, that's gonna be the best pheasant hunting season. 308, 30-6. Nope. Waylon, you're halfway there. Greg Erickson, nope. There's
Getting
beep beep
colder
on
now.
both of them. Yep. Yeah, you're getting
Getting
colder,
colder.
man. You're getting colder.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the pheasants and partridge. I've never seen
Yeah.
so many dang partridge in my life.
Agreed.
I'm not near
Oh,
as
we
good
got
as
a winner. We got a winner.
Oh, Josh
308 and
Patterson.
6'5" top. Josh Patterson. Josh Patterson. Ding, 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 ding. Winner. He was going to give up, too, right? He said he was stumped.
Yeah.
All right, Josh. Congratulations, Josh. Waylon. Nope. Josh has got it. Waylon Josh Patterson. 308. 6'5" Creed. The 6'5". And everybody's like, oh, 6'5" is number one. It did, but he did say slightly ahead of the 308. So everybody who says the 308's an outdated old piece of junk, which I definitely don't agree with.
No,
308 still, and hunting rifles. I guess what he said. Take your. Some people probably get pissed. I hung my 308 AR. So did I, but I'm thinking like the SIG Cross and your typical European traditional stock bolt. Whether you want a 10-round mag or whatever, but right. So Josh, I got this baby for you. Guns at gunsinthe701.com. I might actually have your address yet in the emails. Let me check, but send your address to guns@gunsinthe701.com and I'll get this baby in the mail for you. Thanks to Eric's guess, I got it. He said, my boy will be happy to know 6'5" is top. He loves it. Yeah.
Right? Hey, we talked about it earlier. Everybody likes to talk crap about the 6'5" Creedmoor, and I say that it is the Nickelback of guns. Everybody talks crap, but they all listen.
Yeah. And I said right when you were saying that, I'm like, yeah, and I like Nickelback. I was jamming some Nickelback today. Oh, all right. So we're gonna hit our next. Doug Wolf said, "Congrats, Josh. We're going to hit our next, our big ad here. This is our all four of our sponsors on it. And like I told Levi, I like to keep it about an hour and 15. So got a few more things I want to hit on here. I'll tell you what, guys, we're just for the hell of it. When we come back out of this same podcast I was listening to, it's just so you can thump your chest a little if you get it right. What was the number one Magnum hunting rifle? When we come back from the break here, go ahead and put your answers in the chats, and we'll see how many people can get it right. So, all right, Levi. So, if hang in there, if you gotta go get a drink or whatever. I know you got to work. I mean, water, but I can probably refresh mine.
There you go.
All right, we'll be right back here in about 4 or 5 minutes, guys. Hey, if you don't go, I appreciate it if you don't go, because then you can see our sponsor. So, all right,
absolutely.
We'll be right back. Right on.
That's a war face. Now let me see your war face. You don't scare me.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy, Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
Discover the world of firearms at Bismarck's Double H Gun Shop. With a wide range of products from handguns to rifles, we cater to all your shooting needs. We are your local gun experts. Not only do we sell firearms, reloading supplies, targets, and whatever your heart desires, but we also have a ton of knowledge and answers.
We shoot, we hunt, we compete, we reload.
It's been the Howard's way since 1976, and we ain't fixing to change anything. Visit our website at hhgunshop.com to browse our inventory. Double H Gun Shop, Bismarck's best new and used firearm reloading supply, gunsmithing, and sporting goods store. Double H Guns.
Double H Guns.
1021 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Call 701-223-4888.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. Levi, he's
trying to follow
looking
the
all
light
dark
here.
Yeah. We got our guest here, Levi Nelson. There we go. We got you there, buddy.
Follow the light.
Man, I'm having a good time with you. We might have to get you a little more set up here and get you on a regular guest here on the show. I like this. So I got the bonus question, just kind of a pride thing here. What are the number one Magnum hunting rifle cartridge here? So I didn't see anybody got it right, Levi. We had 7mm Rem Mag, Josh, and Ivan Lardy, Whalen Turn. That was my guess, right? I told you that was gonna be mine. One shot caps is 338 win. Nope. I'll give you guys a hint. It's this man's right here. It's his favorite one. What you got his deer with, or his bear? I mean your deer. Yeah. You probably got your deer. Well, you got your deer with it too.
I think half the animals behind me have been killed with a 300.
Yeah, he did say by far the 300 Win Mag was the number one hunting rifle chambers. There you go, Eric. Hey, did he hear us?
I think it's delayed a little bit.
Is it? Okay, all right, Eric. You're right, Eric. That is what it was. We just said it a little bit ago, but yeah, you're right on that. So, yeah, but yeah, like you're saying, the pheasants look good. Partridge up at our place too. It's crazy. It's grouse too. The grouse are back.
We always had a bunch of grouse.
Do you get it gratis, or do you have to apply it, or what do you do?
So my dad still takes the gratis tag every year. He makes me jump into the application, but lucky for us, we're in the most hated unit in North Dakota. So the Game and Fish make sure I get a tag every year because they give one to everybody.
3F2, right? That's where you guys are in down? Yeah. I think hunted in there.
It's fun to kind of pick on some of my buddies that apply for the Badlands or wherever, and they talk about how many years it's been since they drew a buck tag, and I was like, I think I've only gotten 2 whitetail buck tags my whole life. The rest have all been any antlered.
There you go. That Whalen Turn is 3F2, baby.
Yeah, I think Whalen grew up in the same area I'm in, like with Scott Bachmeyer and stuff.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I hunted down. I mean, I got out of deer hunting for a while there, but my buddy got me back in, and I just started apply with me down there, and they had they rented a hunting cabin, and it was good. I mean, I enjoyed hunting down there. So
Shields, yeah, he's down by Shields, and I say I'm from Solon. I live in Mandan when I work. I have a place up here. I don't have room in the old ranch to keep all my mounts, so I said I just needed a place to store all my stuff. But
yeah.
But I say I'm from Solon, and Solon and Shields, they ain't real far. You can make both bars before bar close.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've been down there many times. The Solon one for sure. Shields not as much, but Solon, I mean, man.
Go party with the Gerhardt and Freilich boys.
Yeah, when you guys were talking, they canceled that prairie dog shoot, right?
Yeah, that's what they were saying, and I know I had heard talk about it that they were having some issues, quote unquote issues with prairie dog numbers.
Yeah.
and I listen to KLND radio quite a bit, Little Eagle, South Dakota,
Yeah.
and they were talking about the plague and how they were losing all their prairie dogs. Everybody else is cheering, and they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, that's a form of revenue."
they're sad, and everybody else is the ranchers and farmers like, yes, get rid of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, Josh says Shields has their egg and lollipop shoot this Saturday instead of the prairie dog shoot. Yep,
that'd
that's what
still be pretty fun.
I met Josh down there. Him and oh man, I'm having a blank of his friend there, but yeah, we met him down there at the last year. Doug and I Doug and I have been a team a couple times. We didn't win anything, but
You
the
had
town we
fun.
were on was oh yeah, it was fun, man. We had a fun time, and then in the bar down there, was it the Wagon Wheel or something? I can't remember what it's called on Main Street there.
Ah, shoot, I can't even
Yeah,
place it.
Rich Johnner, there you go. Yeah, yep. I got a picture with them guys, but yeah, we had a blast down there, and like you said, didn't win, but and he did well. The first time Doug and I were, we got like almost zero. I mean, it was so windy that day and crappy that there. Yeah, we tied with you in access here. Yeah, we were hanging in the top 10 after just a little bit, and then we got booted out pretty quick. I'm gonna make up for it tomorrow, though. So I was gonna say, if anybody's tomorrow afternoon there, if you're just east of New Salem, heading east on the interstate, and you see some guys right off the interstate in a little prairie dog town there, go ahead and beep your horn. That's gonna be Axe and I and my buddy Brian, and Clayton's going to be there. I can't remember which one of his boys is coming up, but it's kind of a smaller town, but I've been eyeballing that sucker. And Doug whipped out his Onyx, and we looked. I'm like, that's it right there. Oh, yeah, I think I know them guys. So then he texted me, yeah, we got permission. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, they're going to poison it. We can go in there. And sweet. So that's going to be
yeah.
two action in there, man. It's going to be
Heck
fun.
yeah.
So you did. So you put in for a muley then, or do you get any antler? Because my unit, you got to put in for a muley buck or a whitetail buck.
Yeah, so 3F2 is any antlered, and then I put in for a whitetail buck, second choice. But
because I hunted there, all I shot was whitetail. So
when we used to have so many whitetails, when we got hit with EHD, I picked up 42 whitetail buck skulls.
Oh my
on our
God,
base.
really?
I mean, it was just atrocious.
That's unbelievable.
Now we got more mule deer than I've ever had before, and I'm slowly starting to slide over to the other team a little bit. Kind of liking the mule deer a little bit more, and whitetails have just kicked my butt forever. I've still yet to shoot a real big whitetail. Granted, I haven't shot anything real big as far as mule deer either, but I think 142 is where I'm at for whitetail is my top.
Yeah, I mean, not small, not big, nice buck.
No, very respectable deer. I'm pumped with them, but I just can't quite convince one of them bigger ones.
I can tell you, I got some 142s hanging in my garage, so
they're good deer.
Whitetail, yeah, and that happened to us too. I mean, I think in like 2010 or 11, it came through the first time and wiped them out, and they kind of come back, and then it came back again.
2021 was the first time we've ever had it. Like growing up, when I heard EHD, I always thought that was an Iowa thing. I never seen it in our area. And then in 2021, it was late summer, and our neighbor had actually called me, and he said that they had found some dead cows, and he was wondering if it was due to EHD. And so I freaked out right away. I did go check cows first, verified I didn't have any cows that were down, but then I started going and checking cameras, and my camera in a week span, JD, a week, I went from 1,500 pictures to 300 in 1 week.
Oh my God.
And I had it on the edge of a coulee, and I walked down in that coulee, and all you could smell was death. And I walked 150 yards, and I found 6 deer. It was just downhill from there. I mean, every nice deer, every up and coming deer, and I couldn't tell you how many whitetail does and whitetail fawns we had that were dead, but we've slowly been building back up. This last year, we had decent numbers, nothing big, but the mule deer have just rolled in.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people get mad at that, and me, I love mule deer. I'll take either one. If we had all whitetail, I'd be cool with that. And I mean,
Gene just commented, if it's brown, it's down. I'm an equal opportunity hunter. I don't care if you're, as long as I got a tag for you and you turn my crank, I'm gonna shoot you.
That's how open-minded I am, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not racist at all.
No, not at all, for sure.
Just when it comes to cows, I'm racist.
I noticed that with you ranchers and your cows. Yeah,
Better
my
bred
dad had
black.
some. Yeah. Well, like, but Scott says, "What Black Lives Matter." I better watch out. They're gonna try and come after us and all that.
Yeah, like they did him.
Yeah. Oh, we're a little small. We're just a little bit smaller than him, so I'm not too worried yet. So I agree, Levi. Mule deer are definitely overrunning our place house. Yeah, it's and we found there was tons of whitetails. I got died on our place, and it, there's a couple nice freaking bucks around there, and like you said, it's coming back slowly. My daughter's got a tag, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna let her shoot one out there. We'll see what happens. And my
Mhm.
brother-in-law called. My nephew's got his first tag, and I'm just like, we're gonna find a place. But I mean, we'll wait and see. But I said, don't plan on coming out to the farm for it.
Yeah, and you never
Which,
know. There's a deer can pop out, and then especially with this last winter, with how mild it was, and the amount of moisture we're getting this spring, these younger deer, these 3, 4 year old deer that are 120,
oh
130 inches, they could blow up.
yeah, all that. Yeah, I mean, usually I always like tentatively say they're gonna go 20 inches, but with this much nutrition and I mean, it could be way more than that.
And you think about it, and I was listening to a podcast that Lee Lakosky was on, and if anybody knows whitetails, they know who Lee
Yeah,
Lakosky
yeah.
is. He said you will see the best size, the best herd size, like quality, inches on deer coming off of an EHD reboot because there's less deer on the same amount of nutrients and the same amount
Mhm.
of resources. Well, they're gonna blow up, and
Yeah,
so fingers
that's awesome.
crossed. I hope
Yeah,
it happens.
yeah. I know. I'm gonna start. Usually in July is when I start like scouting, getting out and sitting, and 'cause before
Yeah.
then you see little nubs. Oh man! Oh, I don't want to get too excited yet, but
Yeah,
yeah.
there's
But I
enough stuff keeping me busy now. I'm just
yeah,
trying to
yeah. Especially you. Yeah, your coal
delay
mine
it.
and
Yeah,
I.
delaying
I
a little bit of
actually.
it. And
I actually think that shit hung around like 2 years at our place. To be honest with you.
really,
I think it did. Yeah, I think it did. And our neighbor guy, who's definitely way more into deer, Tanner, than I mean, I'm into deer, but he's like way into them. And he said that, and I was kind of like, I don't know. And then I kind of looked, I was finding them again. I'm like, God, I think he was right. And some of the mule deer had like weird antlers. I'm with Scott on that. Like he said, his mule deer I think they made it through. They were sick with that shit, and they made it through, and it made their antlers look freaking weird. But
yeah, I know it messes. When Wayne will know more than I do, but it messes with their testosterone,
mhm.
and especially like 2021, 2022, we were seeing a lot of mule deer with velvet and rifle season.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I saw a
so I
ton
mean,
of
it's
that.
something like that. Couldn't find one on our place. I looked.
Not, but I'd go in the bar at night, look at this, so and so got this over by Beulah or South Zap, and I'm like, wow, that thing's in full freaking velvet. That's crazy.
I've yet to get one in full velvet. Early archery season, can't get a velvet
I
one
got a
yet.
whitetail. I got the first one I ever got, and that was in 2011 actually. But now looking back, I probably should have let him go. I think he, probably 138, 140, but I mean, I couldn't
It's
take
hard
it,
to
man.
pass those deer, man.
Yeah,
It
especially
is
if you've never
hard.
gotten one when archery before, and yeah. Well, Waylon Turnus, he's got a. Let's see if we can put this up here with this new format we're on. I just want to. Okay, yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
there you go.
My
That's
boy had
cool.
his any tag this year. Gonna head out to Scott's and try and get a big muley. He's pretty excited to do that. Dixie gave him permission to hunt out there a few weeks ago when he saw her. Yeah. You gotta. Hey, them guys, you can put some miles on up there. You guys will come back walking. Your legs will be like big turkey thighs, man, from walking in big ravines and stuff out of
That'll be
Scott's.
good for his first hunt because it's not going to get handed to him. He's going to work for it, and he's gonna appreciate it that much more.
So, what do you think, Levi? If just say you had a kid and it was her first deer season with a buck, and you guys are out doing it, and let's just say like a 180 muley steps out, are you like, nah, I'm not letting you do that, or are you like, yeah, just do it?
It's such a tough one. John and I have talked about it a lot, over the years, but I'll put it politically correct. That'd be like having your son's first kiss with a supermodel.
Yeah, hey, that's a freaking awesome analogy right there.
It's it's you want it for him, but not
Yeah,
not
I
much where to go after that. It's
I
hard.
mean, if it's like a 150, probably I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. But then I'd be like, man, I don't know. It's just in my mind, it would, because my first one was a freaking dink, man. It was a
Yep.
Forker muley, and I
No,
was
the
so
same as
jacked up.
mine.
I mean, I'm pissed to this day because I lost moving around, and when I was younger, moving apartment to here, and I mean, I lost it, and I don't know where it is. But yeah, I mean, I wish I still had. But yeah, I was like, yeah, this is freaking awesome, man.
When
But
my first deer I ever shot was by myself. Like my dad's not a big hunter. He's a rancher that shoots deer. There's a big
yeah, oh, I
difference.
know plenty. Yeah, for sure.
And he was so mad that I wanted to hunt the early rifle season for youth, but it was my first tag. I gotta go. And so we had strict rules that I was not allowed to shoot a deer unless it was a giant. Well, a giant 2 point walked out, and I couldn't let him walk. And I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Right.
It's all about stepping stones to me. And like I said, I've still yet to shoot anything real big, but every animal you kill is a stepping stone, and it means something to you.
Yeah.
Behind me here, if I figure out my deal, that middle antelope right
Man, you got
here,
some great antelope in there.
that
Jesus.
was my first ever antelope, and he's to this day he's my biggest.
I was gonna say way bigger than the one I got. So
And it didn't ruin me, but it's like a constant battle trying to find one bigger than that. And when I shot it, I didn't appreciate it like I should have because I didn't know no different.
right.
And I think that it comes to a lot of people, their first deer they shoot giants, and then after that, they look down on somebody else's smaller deer, and it's like no, like it's stepping stones.
Yeah.
And like we
I'm
talked
actually.
earlier, it's about luck. I mean,
Yeah.
half of
Oh
hunting is
man.
luck.
I mean, it is. I mean, I can think of a couple I shot, like two of my biggest ones. It was freaking luck, man. I was just
Hundred
walking, or
percent.
we were driving and pulled up on some of our land, and it wasn't like I was all, And then I got smaller ones that I busted my ass for, which I appreciate a lot more. I mean, I'm actually kind of, I would say I'm maybe regressing, because I mean, before I was like, there's no freaking way I'm shooting anything that's not 165, but I got a couple huge 3x3s. And
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, that's freaking. And they don't, they don't score with a crap. Or if they're like, 3x2 or something like that, like a lot of guys, I need that perfect 5x5. I'm not like that anymore. I'm like, nah, if that thing's big, or if like you said, I like it, you see it, and you're like, yeah, I
Yep.
like that deer I'm shooting, and I'm completely jacked
I
about
know
that.
so many people want to put numbers to things. They want to shoot this, they want to shoot that. And I've told my buddies for years, and a lot of my buddies kill a lot bigger deer than me. If I see them and it gets me excited, he done.
Mm-hmm.
He gone.
Yeah, that's what mine was last year. My friend, I mean, one of my lifetime friends is with me, and he's like, "Nah, you don't want to shoot that one." I'm like, "Yeah, I do." You do? And I'm like, "Yeah." I've been watching that sucker for like 3 months, and there he is, man. And yeah, I was freaking stoked when we got him. And I did a
Hmm.
Euro mount, definitely not a full head, but then I get out there and you look at him and you think of how you got him and your memories. And you're like, God, that was freaking. And it was a windy day, but the sun was out, and I'm like, man, it don't get no better than gutting this. And we're down one of these ravines with no wind, baby. And I did do a
Absolutely.
superb job on gutting it too. So
I haven't gutted an animal in so long.
I actually
Do the
enjoy
gutless
that
method.
crap anymore. So,
Yeah,
which is weird.
the gutless method I've been doing the last couple years, and I stay way cleaner that way.
Yeah.
And see, I can do it so fast. Like I shot 5 antelope this last fall, and the last one I
Oh,
shot,
heck
I
yeah.
was with a group, and I said, I've done so many antelope this last year. I said, just time me, see how fast I can skin it, quarter it, and throw everything in bags. I had it in 35 minutes, skinned
Damn.
and quartered, and in our bags, drinking beer.
You know
I
what you
mean,
got
it
to
was
do? Video that, and then just go on there and let AI freaking cut it down for you.
make it look real fast.
Yeah, and then just be like, yeah. 'Cause I hate to give AI any credit, but it does cut shit down pretty cool for you. When I edit stuff, sometimes I'm like, damn, how the hell did I know? That's about what I would have did. I'd like to see it though, because I mean, I have done that on a few deer, and I think we did it on an antelope too. I think actually on my antelope I got we did that, but
It
yeah, I
looks
don't know.
good.
I just wasn't. I'm like I'm better at gutting them. You just kind of like getting back to what's comfortable with you. And
Yeah, and that's all that matters in the end. Is whatever you feel more comfortable with, and and a lot of my animals I'm traveling with, so it's more convenient for me just to quarter them. And Wayne and I talked this last week. I said I wish I was smart enough to debone things in the field. My
yeah,
packs would be a lot
yeah, I
lighter.
think of that too all the time.
Oh, I wish I was. I said I'm really good at deboning meat on a table.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, when I get deer, I mean, it's out at our place, and then throw it in, take it back to the shop, and it's just.
Hang it.
But like if I'm out somewhere, like you were out in Montana or wherever you're in the Badlands or something, it's it's a lot easier at that point to do it. Just do it gutless and. Anyway, all right, Levi, we're about an hour and 10 here. I'm gonna do one more ad, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna finish her up here real quick. Probably be we'll hit it about 5 minutes, but we'll finish it up. So just hang in there. We'll be right back. I'm just gonna do this. We're gonna do the double ad here from our main big dogs here for us, and we'll be right back.
Gotta pay some bills.
That's a war face. Now let me see your war face. You don't scare me.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Oh man, here we are. We're back. I'm just looking at stuff. I'll tell you, I'm gonna hit some of these comments here, Levi. I get to babbling here, and I apologize for missing some. If you guys are listening on Rumble too, the Rumble comments don't come up, and I didn't check them out. I apologize for that. I know we do have a lot of listeners on Rumble here too. Like you can see how many people are listening here. That's only on Facebook and YouTube. So we're on X and Rumble and Twitch. We just started on Twitch, so. If you guys like Twitch, that's super clear on Twitch. So all right. Anyway, Josh Patterson again. Josh, congratulations. Josh was our winner tonight of the barrel threading from Bloodline Kinetics. And he said his boy shot a spike with his rifle last year on his any tag. Then a few weeks later, shot a nice 8-point whitetail with his bow, which is his first archery deer.
Heck yeah.
Which is, whale and turnus. My first was a 2x3 when I was young. Yeah. And then, man, I know that's awesome. That's fun. It's the first time you get to do that. Yeah. And Gene Cox, the mayor down there in Mulbridge, ex-mayor, right, and meat inspector, federal meat inspector, he said his heart speeds up when a doe comes out. Mine does too. I just usually don't shoot them, even if I'll be honest with you, when I get a doe tag in our unit, I always put in for my second, because if you don't get it on your first, you're not getting it in our unit. But I always get it, usually just to preserve a doe, because I'm like, well, I'll save her and in the 2 fawns she's going to have this spring. But go ahead.
Used to have, and they still do it, but we'd have the extra tags, and so they'd sell concurrent doe tags. And when I was starting, the last few years, I'd buy about as many of those suckers as I could afford to waste some money on. And great practice, as much fun as a guy can have, and I like deer meat. Last year, I bought 5 of them, I want to say, and I didn't shoot any of them. because I was doing the same thing you were saying. If I could save those 5 does, I thought
You
that was
know,
mission accomplished.
and yeah, I mean, and if you ask the anti-hunters, guys like you and me are just out for blood, and we don't give a shit about, and but yet you and me is what most people I know do, and when they're low, they're like, nah, not happening.
Yep.
And I got two other guys I hunt with out on our land. They do the same thing. They're just like, you know what, screw it. Unless somebody's like really hard set on, man, I sure would like some extra. So let me ask you this: I seen a debate. Is it? I'll tell you what my answer is before you. Is it venison or deer meat? I call it deer meat. When people say venison, I almost kind of grin, like, really? Okay. And I know it's venison, but I call it deer meat, right?
I'm guilty of both, but like my shirt says, I'm a deer eater. So,
Josh Patterson says, I never put in for buck. Next year I'm going to start putting in for buck. Awesome. What are you putting in for then, Josh? Whitey or mule deer? The stinky muleys are overrunning everything. Hey, anybody listening to 3B2, God, I hope you put in for whitetail, because that's what you want is a whitetail buck. Those stinky muleys, man, they're terrible.
so now I'll ask you this: can you taste the difference between whitetail and mule deer?
Nope, no way.
Oh, there.
I've actually we made sausage years ago, and I actually the biggest mule deer I ever got. He's like a 172, old guy, white face. And my buddy shot in 3F2. He shot a young doe. He just wanted the meat, and then it was him and I and two other guys, and we were arguing about it. And I said, I'm gonna fry this up. You guys go in the other room here. There's a shop right out by I know exactly where a shop used to be, right out by the rural fire department. They went in there. I said, all right, come on. I mixed it up, and I looked at it, took a picture, and I'm like, all right, guys, eat her up. And they all kind of sat there, and they were, all inquisitive. And I'm like, you guys don't know, do you? No, we don't. God damn it. They're pissed off. It's I like to do that with northern too. And northern and walleye, if you get the bones out and fry it up, get the nice.
They taste the same.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, the slime's off. It's not. You don't know. I mean,
as long as the bones are out, there's no difference.
I think northerns are freaking awesome, man. If somebody's got deboned northern, you don't want it. JD, hell, I might even pay you for it sometimes, but because I don't fish much. But yeah, deer meat all the way. Eric says, awesome. All right, Levi. Tell you what, tomorrow morning, 8:40 a.m. Central Time, Mitchell in the morning, 550, 99.7 on iHeart. Clay and Deke are going to be on Guns in the 701 every Friday. We're on, and it's got that later time because the Twins, they got a baseball team in Minneapolis or something there that kicks us back in the summer. But but make sure you get that. And of course, every Wednesday, Guns in the 701's on it. They moved. Hey, I started a trend. I said it's summertime. I'm going to 8:00, right? Summer hours. And then the guys started doing the same thing. So
works good.
Yeah, right. Everybody's out mowing their lawn or whatever, which I should have been doing tonight, but I wasn't. But whatever. That lawn will be there this weekend, and when Scott shows over, I'll mow it then. Yeah.
Perfect.
And and I'm on every other Thursday. Next Thursday, I'm actually on. I've been doing a lot of shows. We had a lot of political guys on. It's political season. Appreciate all the politics. Kelly Armstrong, Rick Becker, Alex Balaz. I invited a couple other ones. They didn't want to come on, which is fine. Kelly said he wants to do, and I do mean once he's governor. He said he wants to come on at least every quarter, and I said that's freaking
awesome.
That is awesome. Kelly's a good guy. He's going to make a great governor. And Rick said if he gets into the House, the first bill he's going to introduce is called HB 701. So how cool would that be?
There you go.
But yeah, my point is I've been doing more shows than usual. But I'm doing next week, then I'm going back to every other week. But I'm having my buddy Wyatt on. He used to turn wrenches on side-by-sides and 4x4s and all that stuff. He's going to give us a rundown on all the new cab models, the 1000s with the heat and air. And he's a big Polaris guy, but he did tell me he was surprised by a few things. So if you're interested in and I'm sure we'll get into some pheasant hunting too, because he's a huge pheasant hunter. Another guy's a lifelong friend of mine. He hunts at our place all the time. But yeah, so all right, I got two comments here. Then I promise you I'm going to end it because I'm right. I know I said that about 10 minutes ago.
That's all right. We could do this all night. I have no problem.
And I asked Josh what he was going to apply for. He said any antlered. I hunt 2-eye, and it's any antlered or any antlerless. Put my boy in for a buck out there this year, first choice, and doe second. Yeah,
Awesome.
so I'm gonna just when I get my drawing, I'm gonna just not even open it until I do my show and just oh god, everybody cares what JD's gonna draw, right? But I just for the hell of it, I'm gonna do it. So.
See, I wish I could be like that, but I have
Well, I
these
say that.
smartphones
Hey,
nowadays.
I say that, right? It's just like I'm only having one beer tonight. 12-pack later and 3 shots. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I drink water.
Eric Newman says for them to taste differently, they need to come from different areas. Mule deer and whitetail in the same area eat the same. Just the screen one. I mean, food, so they taste. I agree with Eric 100%, man. It is.
Yes and no.
All right,
I struggled with that one.
All right, give me your breakdown of it, Levi.
So I've killed 2 mule deer in Montana in the last 2 years, and
Which I would think would taste like total shit, right?
Yes, sagebrush deer, like no alfalfa fields close to these. Same with some of the antelope. I killed an antelope in Wyoming a couple years ago. No alfalfa field anywhere near it. Tasted the exact same as the alfalfa fed deer that I get at home and the alfalfa fed antelope that I get back at home. So
I'm not gonna just, I think about it. Because I have had deer in years that I thought, and I'd cut them open. I'm like, man, it doesn't smell like anything. This is gonna be, and then I eat it, and I'm like, man, that's a little more.
And I'm making
a little more
steaks
venison
out
than I
of
thought.
them and stew. It's not just sausage because you can mask a lot of flavor in sausage. Don't get me wrong, but like steaks and stuff. So this year, sorry, I'm gonna ramble on again.
Go for it, man.
I shot an antelope in Wyoming, which was an alfalfa fed antelope, but I shot him and made a bad shot on this antelope with my bow, and it took us quite a while before we finally got him killed. It was 97 degrees outside. Everything in you is saying this goat is gonna be bad. We made some that night in camp. Amazing. It was great.
Man, I'm with you.
I think it all comes down to how fast you get them cleaned, how fast you get them on ice, not getting hair and urine and feces.
That's the main thing to me. Yeah, doing that shit.
I put that far and above, where they come from, what species they are. And maybe my taste buds just suck. I don't
know. You maybe drank a Bud Light before you did that, right?
Michelob Ultra for me on a diet.
I love Mick Ultra, man. I know it's the same company. But so we got some few comments here. Josh says he can't wait either. Wayland Turner says you'll be checking your email, JD. I think you're right.
That's what mine is. It comes through on my phone. I gotta look at it.
Yeah, I probably will. Gene says, remember, deer sausage is great when it's 100% pork. Eric says, Idaho mule deer tastes different than a South Dakota deer. Okay. And Waylon said, I agree with Scott Bachmeyer. As long as it gets cooled down right away, it's going to taste. See, Scott and I have had this discussion. I'm definitely not on board with that. We've shot antelope out at our place, and it's 60 degrees, and we've driven around there all day, back to Bismarck that evening, hung them up, skinned them out, man, and honestly, that was some of the best antelope meat I ever had. So, everybody's got their theory. I don't know. Maybe we're both full of shit, we're trying to say here. I don't know. Maybe we just get lucky and they taste better. Something I've had beef that doesn't taste good that's corn-fed too. So.
And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. As long as the way you do it is how you like it and how it tastes.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Like when you make sausage every year, Levi, I've been using the same recipe for like 3 years. Because I got it now, and I'm like, man, this is how I want it. I love this. My kids like it, and And then this year, for whatever reason, there's something in there that doesn't taste quite as good as it has, and I'm just like, man, I didn't change anything. I smoked it the same, but
and sometimes I almost wonder too if part of that isn't because you've been eating so much of it for so long that if your tastes kind of change.
For sure.
Like when I get. Like this last year, I harvested 11 animals. I got everything you can think of made under the sun because I didn't want the same thing every day. I'm not a dog. I don't want to eat the same food every day. So I change it up.
Again.
I change it up and I don't have anything that I don't like, but like I said, I'm not a little fella. I eat well.
Good, man. Hey, if shit goes bad, you can outlive me because I'm a little scrawny dude. So. Well, I'm tall, but I ain't very wide. So I was going to add one more thing. Wayne did. So Wayne Muth texted me. He was shooting his AR down at the range, and the top turret and the side turret actually blew off his old Bushnell. Yeah, like it blew off. I've never seen nothing like it. And Wayne said, I've never seen nothing like it. And I said, Wayne, call Bushnell. I said, they got a lifetime warranty. I bet you any money they'll warranty it. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, sure as shit. I said, get back to me. Send me a bag. He said, Bushnell came through. Send him a brand freaking new scope. Looked awesome.
Well,
And,
ask Wayne if that scope was older than I am.
yeah. Oh, what? Oh, was that old?
I don't know.
It looked it, man. When I seen it, I'm like, Jesus. I don't even think. But my dad sent in some old loophole, like late 70s binos. I'm like, send them in. He's like, there's no freaking way. I said, yeah, there is, Dad. Good companies, lifetime. Sure as shit, they did, man.
Wow.
I've had some warranty by loophole. They were awesome. And my Vortex, like some people bitch about Vortex. Vortex freaking just sent me a freaking, they no questions asked, brand new one, man.
Yep, I broke my spotting scope last year on an elk hunt, and I took it to Shields, and I had the receipt. Brand new spotting scope.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I got Burris, and I love Burris stuff, and I'm not going to trash them, but they kind of dicked me around on one of my scopes. They're like, nah, it's not blurry. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I got the same exact one. And now when I use the side focus, it won't, that's your eyeballs. And I'm like, no, my buddy Trav has the same one. Look through his. And I'm like, Trav, look through mine. And he's like, yeah, that's blurry. And I'm like, all right, sorry, man. I love your drop reticles. It's nice and clear. They're fine, but I can't do it no more.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that's kind of been holding me back. I've kind of wanted to get like the Swaro ATX spotting scope. I don't know how good their warranty process is, and that's the one thing. I've got a Vortex Razor, and
That's what I got.
like I say, they're great spotting scopes. And then if you turn them in, you get a brand new one. They fix them. I mean, they do a great job.
So true story here, Levi. My buddy came out, Swarovski spotting scope, binoculars. Went out scouting some mule deer out at our place, and I don't know, he came out for Second Amendment Day years ago or something. Had mine, had his, and he freaking Vortex, and all right, so we were looking early morning, and he's looking at mine and looking at his, and he's like, God dang, I gotta admit, man, I don't tell a difference. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, what about when you turn it up? And I'm like, well, if you turn any of them up, it doesn't. He goes, yeah, because mine gets blurry. And then he was just kind of sitting there. He's like, man, I got freaking screwed. And I'm like, well, how much was yours? He's like, $3,000. And I was like, ooh. Yeah, you did. Sorry.
And it depends, like them higher end Swarovskis are going to be the same, like higher end Vortex. The more money you pay, the better they're going to be.
I mean, a high end Vortex ain't cheap, but it ain't
Swaro.
Yeah.
And I got Vortex spotting scopes, Sig Sauer binoculars, Leupold rifle scopes.
So here's what I think about. Here's the one thing. Maybe you can call me insane and off my rocker, but what I've noticed about like the more expensive rifle scopes, like I'll go to the range with mine sometimes, and my Vortex or whatever, my burst, and it's like off 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch. It seems to me like the more expensive ones, like they hold their zero. Not like I was way off, but I would miss a prairie dog, right? But a coyote I wouldn't, and deer I certainly. But it seems like they stay like right on the nuts more to me than.
I got a Leupold VX6 on my 300, and I have beat the snot out of that thing in the last 3 years, and I have not touched it. And I have that CDS dial, the turret on top. That thing
you put in your VC and your bullet speed, and
and that thing is perfect. And like I said, I don't baby anything. Like I beat the crap out of my gear, not intentionally, but it's just the way I hunt, and I had zero qualms about it. But then again, it's a $2,100 rifle scope. I mean, it's not cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know what? When you need it and you know where it's going to be, so see here. Josh says my neighbor had an issue with a Bushnell scope and they warranted it. Yeah. Okay. Yep. See, I mean, and people bash on Bushnell, and I mean, I've even been guilty of that a little bit myself. But Waylon here, what did Waylon say? Let's bring this up here. I always forget to do this. My speed goat I shot in 2004. The temp was 102. Threw it on ice. as soon as it was shot and was good, guarantee you wouldn't drove around. Not in a, no, not in 102. I'm on with. I'm saying, like I said, it was 60, 55 to 60, 102. I'm with you guys. I'm throwing that son of a gun on ice as quick as I can for sure.
Shoot, your beer won't even be good for
No,
10 minutes outside.
yeah, you want to
It's
drink your beer when it's
102.
102? I mean, I'll do it, but if I have to. All right, guys. We're gonna this time. I promise you, we're gonna Levi. Hey, man, it's been freaking awesome talking to you. I hope
Yes,
you come back
absolutely.
on with me, man. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person someday. But we will sit down and have some beers and
Yeah, anytime.
BS. Yeah, I mean, you ever want? I'd
Cool.
love to do some shooting with you or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, we'll
great.
stay in contact. We'll have to try to get together this summer and shoot some prairie dogs.
Yeah, woo. Yeah, I felt the tingle go down my leg there. I love that prairie dog shooting, man. Love it. All right. Hey, just hang on for 1 second. I'm gonna end the stream. We'll just give me a couple minutes and we get off here. So everybody, hey guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. Appreciate you. Like I said, tomorrow Mitchell in the morning, 8:40 a.m. Every Wednesday, Guns in the 701, and every other Thursday, 701 Nation. I'll be on next Thursday though at 8 o'clock too. And Guns in the 701 doing summer hours too, 8 p.m. Josh, it's a great show. Hopefully Levi comes back on. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, he's gonna. He's locked in now, man. Levi can come on anytime you want. Waylon said, "Looks like you're ready for a nap, Levi."
The bed is calling my name.
All right, guys. Like I said, Levi, just hang on. I promise I won't keep you on long after the show, but I'll let you know when we're clear. Thanks again, everybody. Like Clayton always says, keep your powder dry. Get out there, do some shooting, do some hunting. Enjoy the United States of America and that Second Amendment, baby. It's the best ever.